Temple from Faith.
Well, an interesting choice from Faith, to say the least. Certainly, kind of the Terran, always that natural Terran choice. Terrans were just loving Lost Temple for so long, so a lot of Terran players are really just used to the mechanics of this map, even though Shattered Temple is slightly different than the Lost Temple all of you Terran folks out there had come to love and enjoy. It still shares a lot of similarities, and just a lot of Terran players are super comfortable on it. It does obviously cater to some more macro style of play, especially given this is the MLG version, and we aren't going to see any close ground spawning positions. Axslav should be feeling pretty good about this particular map choice here, given that it's the cross-map spawning positions. Axslav will be able to macro very, very easily. I'm going to expect to see a one-gate expand come out from Axslav once again, but time will tell. Perhaps he'll try to play some mind games here and may try something a little bit more unorthodox. And I'm also going to be curious to see what Faith does. He's tried the same strategy in the past two matches and was that heavy one-base play into an expand. I guess it's Barracks Factory, Starport into expand. So, you know, kind of the sky's the limit with that build. He's been kind of getting a little bit of everything, mixing in some Ravens, a couple of Banshees, and a few Hellions here and there with his pretty consistently heavy bio army. So once again, the sky's the limit for both these players here. And I just want to comment that the playstyle of Axslav is somewhat scary, as if you sit back and have a macro race with him, you're going to be feeling nervous because he's a macro player. That's the environment that he wants to be in, where he feels most confident. But if you try to have that race and you get a little bit too confident in Axslav just playing defensively and macroing and then trying to do a timing push, he may catch you off guard when that one match comes, when he does something a little more cheesy, that one match when he tries to 4-gate and you're all geared up for a 1-racks fast expand. So just keep that in mind. There's that constant mind game associated with being matched up against a player with a reputation for being very macro intensive.
And that's what's so great about these best of 7 series, just being able to see an entire game between the two players. You can see Axslav is chrono boosting out his first Stalker, isn't chrono boosting Warp Gate quite yet, but VP Faith is getting a nice full scout here of the base. He's going to see just about everything, but the Stalker will quickly pick him out. And again, Faith going for a very quick factory, and then a very quick reactor onto that, followed by a relatively fast second gas. So everything coming standard from VB Faith. Now, the last couple of games were a little bit different, though. You know, having a big push is something that he did in both games, and you know, just interesting play so far from Faith. I'm not sure. This is certainly not a standard in TVP right now. Axslav is moving across the base. He is going to see that bunker as he pokes up here. Probably going to be getting ready for Banshees as well. But this is very interesting play from Faith, who once again did prepare for this match. But there goes down that expansion, like you said, from Axslav. One gate fast expanding out of this. And he's just getting quite a few Stalkers. So if we see that Raven again, it's actually going to be very, very effective for Faith. The one Hellion is going to get around, move out here, and he's going to scout that Nexus. And we'll see how Faith reacts to that.
Yeah, certainly right. We'll see what Faith decides to do. As I mentioned, it's scary to sort of just go head-to-head against a macro player, especially if your expansion is a little bit behind. Obviously, Faith had not even thinking about expanding yet, still working on getting those Banshees out. That Tech Lab just about to finish. What would be interesting from Faith in this match would to try for some cloaked Banshees. We haven't seen Cloak come down in either of these games yet, and that would certainly be an interesting choice. There's that tank on the way. It looks like he did go ahead and get that Hellion out, and isn't really doing much with it, just stationed outside of his base here, and there it is. Faith is going to go ahead and move him around the map. That one tank on the way again in that factory Janitor, but we'll see. He hasn't really scouted a whole lot. He's seen the expansion, but he doesn't really know what Axslav is up to, if he's going to try that same build as far as a one-gate into Robo as we're seeing here, or if he's going to try something a little bit different. So I'm not really sure exactly what Faith is going to do as far as reacting to the opener from Axslav here.
Yeah, not sure either. Looks like he could lose a Stalker here, but quickly getting it in the correct spot. Axslav working in some more Stalkers will be able to save that. Faith, though, did reveal the tech path. Again, Marines and Hellions going to be seeing Axslav probably prep up for Banshees. You can see the Observer is going to be out in plenty of time if Faith did go for those Banshees, but that has been something standard that Faith has gone for. And oh no, Axslav is going to get the free Banshee here. That Banshee will do absolutely no damage. That's actually going to hurt Faith quite a bit, as he doesn't have his expansion down yet and was really relying on that Banshee, in my opinion, to do quite a bit of damage. Axslav actually going to have the opportunity here to set up a contain. Sadly for him, the Siege Tech will be done here shortly, so that's something that we haven't seen before. Faith getting that early Siege Tech, and he will be able to put on some pressure here, but looks like he is going to be sticking with this one base play for the moment. Might be pushing out here relatively soon. Don't be surprised to see a Raven come out from that starport right after this Banshee gets popped out. There it is, the Banshee now done, and another Banshee, interestingly, on the way. So this could be that one base scary push that I was talking about. Siege Tech, like I said, is just about to be finished, and this is actually very, very scary. But Axslav is going to get a full scout of it. He does have quite a few gateways down. 4 gateways right now. The robotics facility is down. Really throw down the robotics bay.
The all-in is on the way. A lot of SCVs being pulled here. The observer scouts it. He sees all the SCVs on the way. And we see that Zelnaga tower getting sight of it as well. A huge army value advantage in favor of Faith. The SCVs in the back, unable to tank any damage. Nice force fields coming down, blocking all of those units between the pillars. A brilliant play from Axslav right there, and able to retreat. Probably could have picked off a couple of units while he was retreating, but still able to get away with relatively few losses to buy himself some extra time. 3 more gateways on the way, and Chrono Boost on his turret. Warp Gates, such a beautiful set of force fields in that particular location. We'll see what Faith decides to do. Right now, losing a lot of mining time with all these SCVs still on one base, basically all in at the moment. If this push doesn't win him the game, it is going to be very grim indeed. He's going to leapfrog his way in. 2 Banshees leading the way with quite a few SCVs here ready to repair. There's the bunker coming down. 1 Immortal is out for Axslav. Another Immortal is on the way. The Immortals are going to be key in this engagement. He's going to have to be very careful not to sacrifice those Immortals, but to keep them in a prime location. A lot of probes being pulled straight into the Siege Up tanks. Probes on SCVs. The Immortal gets dropped almost right away. Go ahead and take it away.
And that's exactly right. Axslav is moving up here. The Siege tank's doing tons of damage and not able to break that. Axslav now in a relatively rough spot. The bunker is finished. Great force fields there, killing all of those Marines. Wow, Axslav with some beautiful force fields. The Siege tanks still giving him quite a bit of problems, but that's okay. Taking a look at the unit county station, still 10 ahead on probes. That 1 Immortal almost getting dropped again. Axslav continuing that Immortal production, but Faith with the excellent target fire with those first set of Marines. More units are coming in here, and Faith is able to continue mining back at home. Those Mule's doing a lot of damage, and Axslav needs to be very, very careful here. Here comes another push. The bunker is going to get dropped here. One Marine, or 1 SCV was there to repair, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Axslav just going to push up here and needs to be very careful. Those Stalker numbers very, very low, taking out the very forward Siege tank. And oh no, that Immortal needs to be pulled back very, very carefully. Oh, that Immortal is going to be dropped. That is not what Axslav wants right now. Axslav just trying to hold on. Faith only has 1 sieged up tank right now. All the SCVs on auto repair and continuing to leapfrog his way in, but the longer Axslav holds on, the better position he will be in, just continuing to warp in units still ahead in the unit county stations, but only by a little bit. And you can see now the engage is starting here. Those 2 siege tanks in the back continuing to rack up the kills, but there it goes down. That 9-kill siege tank will get killed right now, and all the SCVs are getting taken down. A couple of Banshees still left, dwindling the numbers here from Faith, but Faith continuing to warp in those, or keeping rally those units in, and all of the Marines are doing some damage here, trying to kite those Zealots, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Get the Zealots in the correct position, but Axslav might get another free tank kill with those Stalkers. Yes, does get the free tank kill, but his army value is still very, very low. This is still a very, very scary push. Faith all in on 1 base, needs to win very, very soon.
Yeah, and Faith is actually doing a surprising amount of damage with this push, given the amount of time Axslav had to react and that beautiful scouting intel he set up for himself. I'm a little bit surprised that he allowed Faith to do this much damage. As you mentioned, the longer this contain goes on, the better it's going to be for Axslav, as he has that income advantage, but that lack in army value right now is really hurting him. He's going to try to move in and take out some of these Banshees before those bunkers do complete. One of the Banshees does fall, but that 1 tank in the back just doing so much damage. Now up to 13 kills, just obliterating these Stalkers. If we look at the resources lost, we do see VP Faith is way ahead, doing a crippling amount of damage here, but he needs to push in and finish this off relatively soon.
That's exactly right. Trying to pick off those Banshees so that he can get high ground, the high ground advantage back to Axslav. And here comes the siege tank very, very forward here. quickly Axslav is going to take that down and needs to pull back here before he loses too many units. Those Marines really need those bunkers, and you can tell he just does not want to do that at all. And here comes the Banshees in to start picking away at the production facilities. 3 Banshees are going to start doing some damage. A great contain here from VPFaith. Here comes some Stalkers being warped in, almost instantly taking it out. 1 Banshee is still alive. A couple of Zealots are also going to go down. 2 more Stalkers getting warped in, as well as that robotics facility. But Faith right now has an excellent contain on Axslav, and now those Banshees are starting to rack up some kills. Going to run into some Stalkers here. There goes down 1 Banshee. Another Banshee could fall here relatively quickly. Really needs to keep those Banshees alive because he wants that high ground push. And here comes another forward siege up by the siege tank. He's going to start shutting down the mineral or that gas from Axslav and start doing damage to the Nexus. This is when Axslav needs to break. The army values starting to even up, and Axslav is going to start to push out here pretty soon. Needs to very desperately before those siege tanks get massive kills. And it looks like here's the engage. The Immortal is going to be target firing that 1 siege tank in the back, pulling off a lot of probes here. Axslav continuing to do damage, and it looks like he might be able to clean this up. The army value is still in favor of Faith right now in those bunkers, making all the difference. Those Marines in the bunkers just doing so much damage. Great use of Banshees as well. Axslav now behind in the worker count, and Faith looks like he's ready to take this game 26 supply to 62.
Yeah, Faith with a just beautiful contain here, able to streamline in these units, and all that 1 base pressure, just too much for Axslav to handle.